Saturday, June 13th, 2020. Someone told me I should just turn my shit on airplane mode when I do this so that I don't get messages. And I was like, yeah, that's a very obviously good idea. So I'm not gonna get any messages during this. So you're good. Your ears are fine. I feel like when people listen to this, they're always like on edge. I was like, oh fuck, when's he gonna get a text? I need to take out my earphones. I need to turn my volume down. Make my ears bleed listening to this. So Dave Chappelle, I want to say this was 2 days ago now, because technically it came out like midnight Thursday. Dave Chappelle came out with a surprise special called 8:46, right, whatever. Which is, you know, obviously the amount of time that the knee was on Mr. Floyd's neck. And, I mean, come on. Anybody listening to this podcast consistently knows I'm going to talk about this, right? I watched it and I was talking to Zero about this. It is the vibe of it. First off, it was great. I loved it, and I thought it was necessary. I loved it. It was great. There's really not much to say about it itself. I mean, and I'm biased with Dave Chappelle, but it was eerily similar to the vibe of street stand-up, actually. There's this very raw feeling when watching it that feels exactly how it feels like when I'm doing street stand-up. And that's good. Like, I'm excited about that. I think that is a sign that I'm going in the right direction. When I was watching it, I was watching him, it was strange because I feel like I could pick out when he was just purely riffing, when he kind of knew the idea he wanted and was riffing on that, and when he had a joke that he was like, okay, I'm going to do this joke. I feel like I was able to tell the difference, but I'm not fully sure. Obviously, I'd have to talk with him, which leads me to my next point. Watching it and realizing how similar it was, it just inspired me to want to talk. I just want to talk with Dave. I want to talk with him. I want to pick his brain. I want to learn. I just want to learn, you know? And there's obviously the excitement that comes with meeting one of your comedic heroes, but I want to learn. If Dave Chappelle had a fucking dojo in a strip mall, I'd be there. I'd be in the gi. I'd wear that little white belt. Do my little kias. Remember the kias taking Taekwondo? No, I want to learn how to, basically, I want to get as good as possible at this. I want to surpass him. Now, and it's funny, I actually mean that in the most respectful way possible. Like, I want to learn from what he has done and what these other comedians that are far beyond me have done. And I want to see if I can learn the skills and hone them and work on them so much that I surpass them in their own comedy abilities. That's what I want to do. I want to be better than Dave Chappelle. Obviously, I don't think that's going to happen, but you know, shoot for the stars. I want to meet him. I want to talk with him and figure out what the fuck is going on in his head, because when I watch him and I listen to him and I see his stuff, it seems weirdly similar to what seems to be going on in my head. And I think that's where that fascination comes from. It's the same with like Bill Burr and Patrice O'Neal. There's something about the way they think that resonates with me because it just seems very similar to the way I think. Like, for example, if you look at, I think I talked about this on another episode, but whatever. If you look at the opening of one of the first special that he came out with, there's this whole monologue from Morgan Freeman, and it's just a shot of Dave's face. He's kind of staring off, and Morgan Freeman's voice talks about how he's in what he calls the trance, which is kind of where the creative ideas come from, and then it goes into his head, and it's just an acid nightmare trip from there. And visually, the way it was shifting from image to image, and the sounds and everything, obviously that's not literally what's going on in my head, but like, figuratively, that shot really, it hit me because I was like, oh, that's kind of how I think. And that's kind of what I look like when I stare off into space and I'm thinking about this type of stuff. And I'm just fascinated by it. I don't, it's very strange. So I made this little hashtag Aaron meets Chappelle, that I'm gonna start telling people to put out there. I actually started it last night, and then I hit up my hookup at NPR, and he said he's down to help me out, so I'm gonna have to talk with him as well. But yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to meet Dave Chappelle, and I want to talk about. I would love to have him on this shitty podcast. That'd be fucking crazy. Yeah. Yeah. So my plan is I'm gonna, probably after this, I'm gonna post on my Instagram story explaining to people what I plan on doing and just throwing it out there and seeing what happens. You know, my mentality, I think, naturally has always been, what's the worst that could happen? Just fuck it. Just try it. Just do it. That's what my natural instincts have always gone to. And what has happened, I think, is the people around me would hear me say a crazy idea like, I want to meet Dave Chappelle. I'm going to try to do that. And then they'll be like, no, fuck you. You can't do that. That's impossible. Don't. Stop. Stop it. Stop now. Stop. Don't you dare pursue your dreams. No. And again, this is why I loved quarantine so much, is I didn't have to have all of these fucking people getting in my ear fucking with what I want to do. I don't give, if it does, like, it's a long shot. I recognize that. Anyone listening is going to be like, yeah, that's a pretty crazy idea, probably. It's a long shot. I really highly doubt Dave Chappelle is good. He doesn't even have social media, to my knowledge. I highly doubt he will notice. But it doesn't fucking hurt to try, idiots. So I'm going to inspire you by putting you down on my level. Listen, stupid. Listen, you fucking moron. All right. But, yeah. Hashtag Aaron meets Chappelle. Hashtag Aaron meets Chappelle. That's going to be it. So that's the plan. Hopefully I talked to my NPR guy today, and we'll go from there. If you like all the bullshit or whatever, if you think this is interesting, or you know somebody that thinks that this would be interesting, please share it with one person. Just one person. Till next time.